J.P. Gupta, Dr. Rakesh Kumar, and all the distinguished experts who have assembled here to discuss on the climate goals, technological roadmap to net zero. First of all, let me congratulate the ICCSA Foundation, which has planned the series of events, and today we have witnessed the curtain raiser. And I think they are going to Ahmedabad, Indore, Guwahati, Bhubaneswar, and Bombay. And I warmly welcome the people to IIT Guwahati sometime in December or maybe earlier also. It is on the agriculture and livestock. Friends, we have heard Honorable Minister talking about waste to wealth. So, and we all agreed that today that it has to be sectorial changes, whatever we can make to make a net zero. So, whether it is oil and gas, coal mining, coal bed, or agriculture and livestock, landfills and waste, transportation, and many other topics in the sectors, we need to work very intensely and generate opportunities, job opportunities, entrepreneurial activities, which will make the waste to wealth as the quote of the today. Today, I am going to talk about one particular sector on the solid waste. So that, we have heard people talk about very generally in all aspects. So I thought, let me show you the pictures, which is really scary. And most of our cities, whether even villages also, having burning problem of handling the solid waste. They are not dangerous, but we are making them truly as a waste, but they are not waste. They have a value. That is what Honorable Minister was saying. We need to convert that waste to a value. How do we do that? And this of ideas, some of the ideas what I am going to present, will give you some ideas on the entrepreneurial activities in the waste management, and wherein particularly the women entrepreneurial activities could be very immense value there, in particular villages and towns. So what are the technological roadmap to make net zero to achieve our climate goals is, first I would like to say, the transition to net zero is for and about the people. It has to be about the people whom we are talking about. So India is pledging to be net zero by 2070, even though the whole world is looking at 2050. So the sector-specific efforts which India can implement in waste and landfill is the one I'm going to focus today. There are emerging technology for monitoring methane, Indian-centric strategy for reducing GHGs, including methane emissions, can be talked about. So, summary, I would like to put this table. It's a very, very important table. It's nothing to do with any specific area. We need to look at the technologies which are credible and which are desirable, and they have to be utility-based, and they should be adaptable to our environment and our people and our villages and towns. So this transition is very, very critical to meet the goals of climate goals. If you don't do that, then we will be nowhere solving any of the problems. We are creating problems. That's what we have seen time and again. Particularly on the waste side, let me give you the waste generation in India. Mountains of waste in cities and villages are growing. Particularly the large mega cities are really a mess. Even today, even though Swachh Bharat has been introduced to 2014, even today the scenarios have not changed, particularly in handling solid waste. India produces approximately 52 million tons of waste every year. That is almost like 0.15 million tons per day. And you can see the majority of the cities which are generating. Waste generation in rural India is no more, even though it's smaller per capita, is not really handled very well. Urban areas, waste generated per person per day is almost 7 times more than the village sectors per capita, which is a challenging thing. That means there is a drastic difference between the way we produce waste in the urban areas than the rural areas. So we need to learn, particularly Delhi, if you take it, 11,144 tons per day in 2021. Only 43.6% is processed, 40% is processed. recycled and turned into compost. So you want to really make that waste into a wealth, we need to look at that waste completely 100%. And when that will be done, we do not know, because remaining almost 60% is going into the landfills. And landfills are, we know the land values are also increasing in the urban areas. Very, very high, it's very unaffordable. So then, a lot of issues, problems will come. NIMBY is another major, not in my backyard, is another major approach. The peri-urban areas are really resisting these waste sites. So all this in perspective, we have to look at to really solve the climate goals. So look at some of the scenarios in Delhi itself. So engineered landfill site to reduce waste, make city free of garbage mountain is the one we need to all think as a community. How do we do this, particularly in larger cities? So, and the methane emission is part and parcel of it. We have seen that. And how do you contain them so that we can actually get utility of that? So I'll just take a case study of Bangalore itself, because we have, my students, myself have worked on this as a geotechnical engineers. So this is the status of the city of Bangalore, and very, very difficult, to find some pictures, what you have shown. There is definitely, there is some progress made, but not enough. We need to do a lot of things. So major illegal dump sites are all quarries, the granite quarries which were there in the city are being converted into the dump sites without any proper engineering measures. Okay, so it is also leading into a lot of water pollution and many other issues. See, if you look at the satellite view of city of Bangalore in waste dumps, look at across the city as it is growing, the peri-urban areas are becoming waste sites. So not one, hundreds of them. Some of them are legal, some of them are illegal. And the villagers have to fight, and every day you might be seeing in the newspapers a fight against the Bangalore metropolitan authorities and the villagers, that they do not want these sites in their backyard. And they are also suffering. Their health issues are deteriorating and many other challenges. Let us look at the composition. Really, is there any solution for this? How much of waste is our value for us? How much? So if you look at it, almost 9,000 tons daily garbage generation in the city of Bangalore, and only 20% of waste should reach actually to the landfills, but today almost 60 to 70% is reaching the landfills. Land values are so high. So if you look at the 50% of the amount of waste is fit for composting, and 30% of amount of waste is recyclable. I think we need to do a lot of innovations there, and that's where a lot of entrepreneurial activities and newer startups should come up, wherein we can convert the waste to wealth. It's almost 80% of our waste is a wealth there, which is not really transformed, even though there are good examples. There are excellent examples which we can translate into different scales